Welcome to the news at 4. I'm Brenda Rodriguez.
And I'm Joe Paris. The courtroom grew heavy during Chad Daybell's murder trial today as jurors were shown several photos of 16-year-old Tylee Ryan's remains and the body of her 7-year-old brother, J.J. Vallow.
Daybell is on trial for allegedly murdering J.J. and Tylee, as well as his first wife, Tammy, in 2019. Our Morgan Romero was in court all day. Morgan, we're about halfway through the trial at this point.
Yeah, we are. We expect trial to take up to 10 weeks total. Today, prosecutors called 3 more witnesses. The first, the Ada County forensic pathologist who did J.J. and Tylee's autopsies. It was a tough morning, and I do want to warn you, what I'm about to explain is graphic. Jurors saw autopsy photos of the children, but the public did not. I saw multiple jurors crying and wiping tears from their eyes as they looked at those pictures. Meanwhile, Chad Daybell glanced between the witness, Dr. Garth Warren, down at the table and laptop in front of him, and at the screen in front of his attorney showing those autopsy photos. He appeared stoic, not reacting. Jurors first saw photos of J.J. Vallow's body covered in plastic and bound with duct tape. Dr. Warren said a white plastic bag wrapped in tape covered J.J.'s head. Duct tape covered his mouth and bound his hands and ankles. He had bruises on his upper arms and scratches on his neck.
It's important in this case, considering there's a white plastic bag over his head, or these scratch-like abrasions from the individual putting the plastic bag over his head. It could also be from JJ himself trying to get the bag off of his head. I wasn't there. I don't know. But these are the types of things that go through my head.
Warren determined J.J. died by asphyxia by a plastic bag over his head and duct tape covering his mouth. Tylee was dismembered. An expert identified her using dental records. Dr. Warren said her remains came in multiple bags containing her organs, debris, charred tissue, and pieces of bone, some burned. A metal green bucket was found with Tylee's remains. The FBI noted sharp force injuries on parts of Tylee. Warren told jurors again he determined Tylee's cause of death to be homicide by unspecified means. Idaho State Police forensic scientist Tara Martinez also testified. She specializes in latent prints. She said she matched latent finger and palm prints on the plastic around JJ to Lori's brother Alex Cox.
And the conclusion after the comparison was that 11.15.1 was identified to the right palm of the fingerprint card or the palm print card bearing the name Alexander Cox.
Chandler Police Detective Ariel Werther testified about looking through Charles Vallow's cell phone data after he was shot and killed by Alex in July of 2019. This case, of course, as we've reported for years, stems from Arizona as well. Jurors saw surveillance video showing Lori went to a Burger King drive-thru after Charles was shot, long before Alex called 911. Werther used cell phone geolocation history to show Lori had Charles' cell phone at that time. He also presented evidence showing Lori and Chad calling and texting each other throughout the day on that July day.
Yeah, Morgan, well, we just heard Warren talk about that unspecified means. What does this exactly mean?
Yeah, so unspecified means is a term that they use when 4 conditions are met, and those conditions are it has to be suspicious, right? So either the body is buried, dismembered, it's lit on fire, evidence is concealed, and this case clearly falls into that category. The other criteria would be the autopsy doesn't show any obvious cause of death. In Tylee's case, there's not enough of her body there. The third, toxicology. So they do toxicology testing, and if that can't explain why a person died, then they turn to unspecified means. And that fourth criteria is based on the history and circumstances surrounding somebody's death. They look at medical records and they determine that 16-year-old Tylee Ryan was healthy at the time that she died.
Very interesting. Well, thank you so much, Morgan. Of course, we're going to continue to follow this. You can find this information over on our website at ktvb.com.